Okay, this is one of your very loyal subscribers, Neil. Okay, next question. Let's say I bought a salvage vehicle from auction, then fixed it up to all the specs. How do I turn that title or brand to a rebuild, or what's the process? Thank you.
Well, that's very easy. On the front side of the ownership says rebuilt, and then the back side says none. So you just flip it. Is it how do you turn the ownership? Not. Okay.
So literal.
Why is it turn the ownership? Okay, so basically you'd have to take it to a third-party shop to get it inspected. We just spoke about safety inspections just 2 seconds ago, and that one is called a structural certificate. So mechanic shops issue safety inspections, body shops issues structural certificates. So if you did it at a licensed shop, most body shops right at that shop, because they fixed it, they should be able to issue you what they call a structural certificate. After you pass that structural certificate, you take that to the ministry, just like you'd bring your safety inspection there when you're trying to put the car into your name, and you give the ministry that structural certificate, and then the title would go from branded Salvage to rebuilt at the ministry. They just need that paper to do that. Now, most shops don't have the, a lot of body shops, even some that I've used before, don't have the structural certificate license, like they can't issue it, but they would fix the car for you. You have to take a picture of the damage before. You have to take pictures of the car on the frame machine where it's being pulled and worked on. And wherever you bought the car, they would give you a paperwork from the insurance company showing all the damages that the car had and what the recommended repairs were. And then the receipts from the body shop of all the parts that you bought. That package would go to the shop, because since they're not the one fixing it, that's the evidence of what you actually bought to fix. So it's kind of like a whole file. Is that clear?
As you're saying,
clarify
it sounds like in order to get
the structural certificate passed,
structural certificate,
you got to prove it.
Number one, you need to find a body shop that is that can actually issue.
That's right.
Because you're saying that some body shops don't have the ability to do that. Like
That's
they're
right.
Not licensed.
So it's kind of like
not licensed, but maybe they're not.
They just don't. They doesn't pay for the certification. It's kind of like
right, okay.
So they're, just so we don't lose you here. There are some mechanic shops, for example, that would do all kinds of mechanical work, but for some reason they did not register their shop with MTO, so they cannot issue safety inspections. It doesn't mean that they don't have licensed mechanics working it, so I don't want to knock them and say they don't have licensed technicians. They just for some reason don't take the responsibility of signing safety inspections.
Right.
The same way there is some body shops who are capable of fixing the cars, and you may be able to get the car fixed cheaper there because they know that they can't issue a structural certificate. I'm just saying in that case, there is more paperwork that you have to keep track of. Wherever you bought a salvage car, when a car is salvaged, there's a report that comes in from the insurance company that you should have. It literally would state the initial estimate of repair, how much it would cost to fix that car, all the things that are damaged. You need that paperwork. And then you need receipts of all the parts that you bought to prove that you actually fix the car properly. And then they need a picture of the car on the frame machine.
Right.
Okay, and then these pictures, you take it to the shop where they do structural certificates with the car. They're gonna do some measurements and they're gonna go through your paperwork and they'll issue you a structural certificate. It sounds complicated, but it's much easier, because as long as the body shop that's fixing the car, you let them know ahead of time before they remove the old bumper. You let them know ahead of time that that car is salvage. They know that you're gonna have to go for the rebuild title process, so they will know to take a picture of the car on the frame machine, and most likely they themselves may know a shop that they already work with that can help them get the structural certificate for you. Okay, but the whole summary of all this blah blah blah, if we talk too much here, is that you'll need something called a structural certificate, and then you can flip the car.
So when you get the structural certificate, you present that to Service Ontario.
That's correct.
When you're ready to change the ownership. All right. Okay. Makes sense. Good.
Yes.